Hello everyone and welcome back guys to week 3 of the TORA Ginetta SuperCup, and today we are here at Oulton Park. Now this is not a track that I'm a particularly big fan of, and unfortunately I hadn't really done many laps around this track ready for this evening, so I wasn't feeling confident too much, but after 2 race victories last week out in B Lobby, hopefully we can still have some good racing tonight. But I'm going to leave you on board then with my fastest lap around this circuit. It wasn't, perfect, but I don't think there were too many big mistakes. Out of the final corner then and down towards the line. As I said, it wasn't a perfect lap, but there wasn't particularly too many mistakes there, and it's going to be a 1 minute 24.2 there, which actually was good enough for A Lobby this week. Now P12 on the grid for A Lobby. They're very, very happy with that result in the end. Meant that he was starting, in near the back of A Lobby, so it was nice. Hopefully, if there was any carnage up ahead of me, I can actually, try and make up some positions here. We had, I think, 5 of our 6 EVR entrants made it into A Lobby as well, so it was mainly EVR versus team momentum here. And now, as you can see, coming to the final corner of the formation lap, I'm next to EVR Rapids, so hopefully, if we can get off to a nice clean start, we've got a driver that we definitely want to be keeping clean with right at the very start of this race. But it's the lights out and away we go there, and off to actually quite a decent start, reacting nice and early. You're going to see TM Child going to have a look down the inside of one of my EVR teammates there, down in towards turn 1, not able to make the move stick, and now you can see we might be able to have a little look up the inside of Chris MK here, going into the next corner there. He completely squeezed me out over the curbs there, and somehow, able to keep it right next to him there, through the next corner that I do not know names around Oulton Park, I'm not going to lie to you guys, but yeah. We've already made up 1 position then on my teammate Rapids, and now breaking down into the hairpin for the first time, and make sure, we try and keep it nice and clean. There's a little bit of bumping around ahead of me there, and we're actually going to get a bit of a better exit there than Chris alongside me here, so we might actually be able to have a look down the inside into the chicane there. He wasn't particularly aware of me at the start of this lap, but hopefully now, if we can get the car far enough alongside there, we do move past him. He does back out of it through the second part of the chicane there, and now we move up into P9 of the race. So 2 positions made up right off the very start, and now we're right behind my team at EVR Hurricane here. Hopefully, if we could try and make up even more positions, try and work as a team here, it could really, really benefit us as we come through the final couple of corners towards the end of lap 1 here. Actually, one corner that I really, really struggled to get right there. Never really knew if you want to try and carry as much momentum or try and hit the apexes there, but breaking down into the final corner there, and Kieran's, a little bit outside at the moment, so, hopefully, if there are any mistakes made by the guys, I just want to try and get through nice and cleanly. These races mainly about, just trying to avoid carnage and contact with other drivers, so hopefully, it worked out fairly well for me last week, so hopefully we can see a repeat of that this week. Chris behind me, though, got to make sure, and I watch out for him if he does want to go for any lunges at any particular point, but unfortunately for me there in the rearview mirror, he did actually make a mistake there, completely spanned the car, which means that, I haven't really got too much pressure from behind me as of right now. But breaking down into the hairpin there, Kieran gets squeezed out wide on the exit there and completely comes across me there. And definitely not what I wanted to do there, but nowhere really for me to be able to go there. I don't know if he just didn't spot me on the inside there. I sort of wanted to keep it clean, keep it to myself there, and unfortunately for me, Kieran did come across me a bit there. Not really enough time to try and move out of that there, but we did make a couple more positions, as I think that was TMA the Ace on the outside as well there. So, we're now up into P7 here at the start of this race, barely 2 laps in, and already, you know, we're making good progress nicely through the field in this first race of the night. And now as we skip on 1 lap later towards the end of lap 3 here, going through the hairpin once more, and you can see there's a few cars still, you know, all bunched up very, very close together, just up ahead of me here. And now, as you can see, there's actually TM Brembo has spanned the car there. We're all trying to get around him nice and cleanly there. And now Jordan McGonigal all over the place. We're going to try and have a look down the inside there. A little bit of lag contact, I think, from my screen there. He said I completely shoved him off the circuit. But, you know, personally, from my point of view, there was very, very little contact there. He seemed to have got, you know, absolutely lag punted off the circuit there. There was nothing really I could do about that. And we've somehow made up another 2 positions in this race. So 6 places made up in just 3 laps of racing there. Certainly, you know, a nice, good start to this race. Overall, not particularly, you know, much contact in the start. You know, that tiny bit with Jordan though, where, you know, I sort of found myself on the inside of him. He turned in a little bit on me, I felt. And unfortunately for him, you know, it came off far worse for him than it did for me there. As you can see, Brembo actually diving into the pits towards the end of lap 1 there. But TM Chard now all over the back of my teammate EVR Chirac here. And hopefully, for me, you know, if we can just try and pounce on him, give Chirac, you know, a bit of breathing space there, then we could be looking for an EVR 3-4 in the first race of the night, which would, you know, be very, very good for us. I think we've got Kieran Hurricane just behind as well. So, you know, if Chard does make a big enough mistake, then potentially we could be looking at a 3-4-5. And through the hairpin now, and Chard completely drops it on at the acceleration there. Not really too sure how he managed to do that, or I just don't, you know, it seems a bit odd that a lot of guys seem to be losing the back end, and I, you know, especially under acceleration and the car that hasn't got a huge amount of power, does seem a little bit odd to me. But obviously that's how, you know, their setups seem to suit their cars. And now it's skipping on, you know, you can see we're now right behind Chirac, about 1.5 seconds back, but unfortunately by the final lap of the race, nothing, you know, we could really do against Chirac there. You know, we were very, very equal on pace last time at Knock Hill, and it seemed to be the same story once again here at Oulton Park there. So unfortunately for me, you know, the gap did stay about level there. But, you know, especially, you know, don't really want to be fighting with my teammates unless I really, really have to. And if I do, you know, certainly just want to be keeping it nice and clean there. And as you can see, down in towards the final corner of the race, TM Murphy is able to come through in P1. VSR Bird in second. Chirac there going to get a very, very well-deserved podium in the first race of the night. And overall, that's been quite a good result for 2 of our EVR drivers there. You know, all the guys to get into A lobby, you know, gave us so many extra points. Taylor, unfortunately, just missed out on the A lobby dream there, right at, you know, I think he was like P2 or P3 in B lobby there. But yeah, certainly some good points for myself personally as well. They're really, really useful. Obviously, where we did miss out on the first round of the season. There is one drop round as well, which is very, very useful. But that is the final order from race 1. We had Chard, Chris MK, Jordan Hurricane, Adam Watson, then my teammate Rapids and Brembo right down towards the bottom of the field. I think we had Burnout down in P13 as well because he struggled. And then I think we had Smalley and AD Ace right at the very bottom of the order there. But that was the first race of the evening there. And overall, I think, you know, it's safe to say for me, it was very, very good. From 11th to 4th in that first race. Not really too many complaints I can have about that. You know, able to make up a good haul of positions in the first race of the night. But now skipping on to race 2, and as you can see, starting from the order we finished race 1, and hopefully, you know, if I could just hold on to P4 overall, you know, I'd be very, very happy. If a podium opportunity does arise, you know, I'm definitely going to try and take it. You know, I'm not going to play too risky. The points that I can earn from 4th can massively outweigh the points I could risk for getting 3rd. But here we are then, out of the final corner, ready to start the second race of the evening. Very, very slow start from Murphy here, doing it at just 50 miles an hour rather than the 62 average there. But it's lights out, and away we go. And VSR Bird has not got off to a particularly good start there, nor has Chirac. Oh, I'm going to pass straight away there, but he dives it back down the inside into turn 1 there. Doesn't really give me too much room on the exit of the corner there, but he moves back up into P3, and now we've got TM Chard all over the back of him here, going to try and defend from him. You know, give Chirac a bit of breathing space if we can, you know, try and give him the extra bit of momentum, because I did feel, you know, he was a bit quicker than me in tonight's racing here. But Chard now all over the back of me, breaking down into the hairpin for the first time, and he goes from very, very far back, chucks one down the inside there, pushes me out a little bit wide on the exit of the corner there, but, you know, a firm, but, you know, I think it's fair to say a fair move there on the exit of the hairpin on lap 1, which unfortunately means I have lost 1 position so far in this race. Breaking down into the chicane there, nearly pushing him in through the chicane there. You know, these cars, you can just drive so closely to each other. Really, really enjoying these Ginetta cars. You know, I'm going to be a bit disappointed when this season overall does finish. But yeah, up through the top of the hill there towards the end of lap 1 and into one of my least favourite corners around this whole track. This horrible double right-hand apex here, now trying to just get the car turned in. And now we've got Chris MK just behind me once more here. We might think about going for a move down the inside into the final corner there, but he just backs out of it. Quite late on there, we brake very, very late into the final corner, just about get the car turned in, running a little bit wide out over the curbs, but no chance for Chris to be able to make moves on me just yet. And I think actually behind him we have got Kieran, or Hurricane as he's more commonly known. So hopefully, if we can sort of back Chris into him, that would probably work out, quite nicely for all of us here, try and gain a few bonus points. But on to lap 3 of the race, you can see Chard is all over the back of Chirac, but Chirac, he's trying to move this way and that, try and defend his position there, but he gets forced out wide by Chard as he runs massively deep into the corner there. Chirac gets sent out all over the grass there, and he's going to come along side by side next to me here. We have to use all the curbing on the exit of that corner there, and somehow now we move back up into P4 of this race. Chirac tries to have a look down the inside at once more, though we do get in the room on the inside, but fortunately for me, he does back out of it on the second part of the corner there. So back up now into P4 of this race here, and now, it's sort of a bit of a balance between holding up a bit of a train here, but also trying to focus, on my own race as well. If Chirac really goes for any particularly big lunges, then I will let him move through, but, not really going to, not going to sacrifice my own race too much in these early stages. Still really want to, try and prove myself, score as many points as I can for EVR Yellow in these races. But yeah, unfortunately, Kieran actually Chirac actually loses that place to TM Brembo there, and he's going to get a ridiculously good run on me, breaking down into the final corner. They're going to park it on the apex there. Kept it nice and clean. He is so ridiculously quick on these games, is Brembo. He's really, one of the guys fighting right at the front overall in the championship here. So hopefully, if we could try and keep up with him over these next couple of laps, it would be quite nice for my own pace here, But as we can see, skipping on to lap 8 of this race here, and it's sort of simmered down for myself. The gap to Brembo ahead of me sort of opened up just a bit, and we have Kieran just behind me here, still almost, piling on the pressure if, the opportunity did arise. And as we come through this horrible, tight, twisty little chicane there, unfortunately, I've just turned in a little bit too early there, dinked the tyre wall on the inside. Surprised I came out with such a little bit of damage there, but unfortunately for me, that's completely cost my run up this next straight here. Kieran is going to have a look through down the inside that I'm, just going to give him the position, as I'm not too sure how much this damage will really affect me at this moment in time during the race there. And unfortunately there, really quite a silly error by myself, to lose out on that position in that way. Really shouldn't be making you shouldn't be making mistakes like that, if I really want to be trying to fight at the front. But now on to lap 13 of the race, and it's sort of quieting down once more for myself. We had Kieran piling on the pressure to the guys behind me. Chirac and Adam Watson behind me, also very, very close there. But Kieran's dropped it under the in through the hairpin there. We've gone right around his outside there. He luckily does get out of the way right at the very last moment. Chirac and Adam Watson still trying to, battle with each other, and unfortunately for them, I'm sort of holding them both up just a little bit at the moment, but I'm still trying to hold on to my position. And one lap later, Brembo actually has managed to make a costly error there through turn 1. He was fighting for the lead at that moment in time with his teammate Murphy there, and that leaves me back up now into P4 of this race. And once again, it's just been another race so far where I've just tried to capitalise on other people's error. Consistency is absolutely key in cars like this, I've come to learn. Another P4 it's looking like on the cards at the moment, but mind you, Chirac is now all over the back of me coming through this final lap of the race here. Is he going to be able to try and go for any last gas moves? We will have to wait and see here. Just going to try and focus on making sure I keep my exits nice and tidy. The opportunity does arise. I think this race so far, with a couple of Chirac's dive bombs, have proven that he's willing to try and go for any opportunity that he can possibly get. Coming through the second to last corner here, really not getting a particularly good run on the exit there, and Chirac now is going to be all over the back of me here. We're going to have to try and go defensive into the final corner of the lap. Chirac tries to have a look around the outside there. There was a little bit of laggy contact once more there, and Chirac claimed, I punted him off, but, on my side, just held it on the apex there, and it's going to be P4 in the second race of the night there. 2 P4s overall in a lobby. Certainly, very, very happy with that. Having a look overall at the race order, Murphy and Bird came 1-2 once again. Chard getting P3 with myself 4th, Chirac 5th, Brembo 6th, Kieran 7th, Dom 8th, Adam Watson 9th, and EVR Burnout down in 10th place there, guys. But that, therefore, is the end of week 3 of the TORA Ginetta Super Cup. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more of this Super Cup. 2 rounds to go. Next week is at Snetterton, so I would highly, highly recommend coming back and checking it out. But as I said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time for a brand new video.